Today, we're going to talk about something pretty powerful: how one single tiny choice, a choice that seems so small, can create these huge ripples that completely change the entire course of a life. So picture this: a muddy playground. There's a boy who can't walk, and then there's this one act of kindness, a single moment that ends up changing not just one life, but two, forever. Okay, so our story kicks off at an orphanage called Sunrise Home. And, it's a place that's filled with both incredible hope and, well, a lot of pain. It's right here that two completely different lives are about to intersect. On one hand, you've got Rohan. He's 12, and life hasn't been kind. It's taught him to just keep to himself, trust nobody. He's got this big wall built up around his heart. And then you've got Ion. Ion is paralyzed. He uses a wheelchair, but somehow he sees beauty in everything. He's the total opposite of Rohan, just this little beacon of light. They're living under the same roof, but they might as well be from different planets. And this right here, this is the question that really gets the ball rolling. Rohan's just watching Ion from his usual quiet spot, and he literally can't figure it out. He's thinking, how? How can this kid, who can't even walk, still smile like that? And that question, that's the very first little crack in that wall around his heart. All right, this is it. This is the moment everything pivots on. It's a rainy day, the playground is a muddy mess, and there's this one single moment of choice that's going to change everything. So just imagine it. The rain is coming down, and Ion's trying to get across the playground, and his wheelchair just gets completely stuck, sunk in the thick mud. He calls out, "Hey, can someone help me?" And what does he get back? Nothing. Well, worse than nothing. Some of the other kids just laugh. They just walk away. But Rohan is watching from under a tree. And right then, he's got a choice to make. Does he stick with what he knows, stay hidden, stay safe? Or does he step out into that rain and do something? And for some reason, his heart just speaks louder than all his fear. He makes the choice. He runs out to a tie-in and he starts pushing with everything he's got until that wheelchair is finally free.
And Ion looks at him and says, "Thank you, Bhaiya. You're my hero." Think about that. For a boy like Rohan, who has felt completely invisible for years, to suddenly be called a hero? Wow, that's a game changer.
And you know what? That moment didn't just get a wheelchair out of the mud. It did something much bigger. For the first time in what felt like forever, Rohan actually smiled. A real smile. So that one small act, that wasn't the end of the story. Oh no. It was the seed, the very beginning of a friendship that was going to heal both of them in ways neither could have ever imagined. Their friendship grew from there. It wasn't about big, grand gestures. It was the little things, pushing Ion's chair to the dining hall, sitting next to him in class, reading stories together. And slowly but surely, Ion's laughter started to fill Rohan's very gray world. It was like Rohan gave him legs, and Ion gave him a reason to smile. They were completing each other. Ion used to say this thing: kindness is like a boomerang. It always comes back. And that's really the heart of this whole story. And, well, he was about to be proven right. That kindness Rohan showed on that rainy day, it was about to come flying right back to him. Okay, so now their friendship faces a new kind of test. The orphanage announces an essay competition, and it's going to prove just how powerful their bond really is. And get this, the topic of the competition is the power of kindness. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. It's perfect for them. Aeon, he has all these incredible words and ideas, but he can't physically write them down. So what happens? Rohan becomes his hands. It's this beautiful partnership. And the first line of their essay, it just hits you. They wrote, "Kindness is a language that even the deaf can hear and the blind can see." I mean, that says it all, doesn't it? It's their own story. And guess what? They won. First prize, their story, told through their unique collaboration, just connected with everyone who read it. This wasn't just about winning a contest. It was like a victory for their friendship itself. But here is the best part. When Ion goes up on stage to accept the award, he doesn't talk about himself. He turns the spotlight right back on his friend. He tells the whole room, "This award is not mine. It belongs to my best friend, Rohan. One act of his kindness gave me hope." And for Rohan, hearing that, it's a lightning bolt moment. He finally gets it. He finally understands that by helping Aeon, he wasn't just fixing someone else's problem. He was healing himself too. All that pain he'd been carrying, it was starting to fade.
So where do they go from here? Well, their story doesn't just stop at the orphanage gates. That one single act in the rain, it literally becomes the blueprint for the rest of their lives. Years go by. The boys become men. And their paths, while different, stay connected by that one shared mission. Rohan? He goes back to Sunrise Home. He becomes a teacher there, passing on the lesson he learned. And Aeon? He becomes a motivational speaker, telling their story to thousands. Both of them, in their own way, spend their lives paying that kindness forward. And there's this one conversation they have years later that just sums it all up perfectly. Aeon tells him, "You didn't just free my wheels, you freed my soul." And Rohan replies, "No, Aeon, you freed my heart." Just beautiful, right? It shows how much they truly gave each other. So, what's the big takeaway from all of this? What's the moral of this incredible story? It's really pretty simple. Kindness costs you nothing, but it can change everything. And it doesn't just change the person who receives it, it changes the person who gives it. The world doesn't really need more heroes and capes, it just needs more people with hearts that actually care. So I'll leave you with this thought. If kindness really is a boomerang, what are you going to send out into the world today? What's one small thing you could do that might just change everything for someone? And just maybe for you too.